It's Transforce96 here with another video talking about the next rumored wave for the Spider-Man series from Marvel Legends. So this was a rumored assortment that was just rumored yesterday via the kind of DPC codes for these figures at the store. This is quite exciting. I always love getting rumored waves from Spider-Man, or sorry, from Marvel Legends, because a lot of times they turn out to be true. I've made plenty of these videos where I did this style, or I have comic book images of these characters with the rumored assortment waves, and they've been completely true. You can go look it up and look at the pictures, and they're waves that have been released. So these are fun to do because a lot of times they're true, and it makes it feel more legitimate. So let's talk about it. Again, though, this isn't confirmed or anything, so there's a high possibility this won't be the wave, but I would say it's a high possibility it will be the wave based on the characters in this wave. It seems like a pretty legitimate series, just based on what Hasbro usually does. This seems like a good mix of characters to actually be the figures in the wave. So let's start, first of all, with the Spider-Man figures in this wave. We have Spider-Punk. This is kind of an interesting character. I mean, I'm kind of sick of getting Spider-Man characters, to be honest. Or not Spider-Man characters, but just different versions of Spider-Man. I enjoy Spider-Man's characters in his Rogues Gallery a ton, but I'm not huge on getting so many different versions of Spider-Man. However, in this wave, the two Spider-Man figures in the wave are quite unique. I think Spider-Punk is just a really neat, unique kind of Spider-Man, and will actually look kind of cool, and he'll obviously have a few new sculpted pieces, because he obviously wears like a piece of a jacket, so that could be a pretty fun figure, to be honest. Although I'm not a fan of the Spider-Man figures, like getting so many, Spider-Punk is probably going to be a pretty unique and cool one. Then there's Spider-Man Noir. This is a Spider-Man that's quite popular. Personally, I haven't been too into this character, so I'm not like stoked for this one. However, it could hold a decent amount of new pieces, which would make it a little more interesting and fresh, so I would kind of be a little bit more interested in it. However, I think that one's going to be a pretty popular one in the wave. Then we have Spider-Woman. There aren't any more specifics to this, so I just kind of put up a image of one of the versions of Spider-Woman that would be cool to get. I think that's a very neat costume, and that would be a nice one to get. However, there's a bunch of different versions of Spider-Woman, and they've already done the main classic ones, so it's obviously going to be one of those more obscure ones, which is kind of neat. That's probably the figure that I'm least looking forward to, though, just because, again, just like Spider-Man, I don't really enjoy getting multiple versions of these Spider characters. I'd much rather get some of the more unique characters that don't have a million different versions of them. Then there's the Prowler. This is quite an exciting one. He's a neat villain, and obviously, I believe the uncle for Miles Morales. There's rumors that Danny Glover is playing him in Spider-Man: Homecoming. But that's a neat one to get, and I think that he could be very cool looking. And I'm trying to think. I think that he always has a cape, right? I feel like there's versions of him without the cape, but no matter what, I do hope that the figure would have the cape, and I like his color scheme. Green and purple kind of look cool, so that could be a fun, neat figure. Then there's what are they called? Demogoblin. I'm unfamiliar with the origins of this goblin figure. However, he's a very unique looking one and could be very cool. I would imagine that they'll reuse some of the pieces from Hobgoblin and Green Goblin, but obviously his cape I hope that they redesign the cape to make it even more shredded, and I hope he just has an extreme expression on him. I feel like the second head sculpt that came with the Hobgoblin figure kind of was a Demogoblin sculpt, so I hope that they go with something very extreme like that. And the hands, I hope that they kind of go more extreme and make them sharper, the fingers sharper. That would be quite cool. And then obviously he has a super unique glider, being the fact that it's kind of like just energy or fire, so that would be very cool to get. Then Gwenpool. Gwenpool is such a popular character. Obviously, it's a female Deadpool. You can't go wrong with that. So I kind of feel like it's a cheap character, but at the same time, I mean, that's just cool. Just plain and simple, it's a neat idea for the character. I think that that's going to be a fun figure, and that's just a home run right there. I mean, that will by far be the most popular figure of the wave, and will just be impossible to find, and will go for so much money on eBay until it becomes slightly more available, and then that's when I'd pick it up. But overall, I'd actually really love the figure, and it would be really fun. It would also use a lot of new pieces. I believe that a lot of that figure would have to be be newly sculpted, which would be very cool. And yeah, that's just a figure that everybody would love and go crazy for, and myself included. I'd be very interested in it. And then the last one, which is my favorite one of the wave, and the character that I've been waiting for them to make forever, is Mysterio. Mysterio obviously is a classic Spider-Man villain. He's one of my favorites. He's probably in my top 3 Spider-Man villains, and Spider-Man villains are my favorite villains in Marvel. So I would absolutely adore a really nice Mysterio figure. My only concern is that they don't kind of like cheap out on it. I hope that they really, they obviously can use just a regular body sculpt, but then I hope that they resculpt the gauntlets and make them very cool. I also hope that he comes with newly sculpted hands. There aren't any hands that Hasbro is using to date that I think are good enough for Mysterio. I want some really nice expressive hands to kind of be able to pose him, doing stuff that can be very cool and kind of like shaping the smoke around him basically. So I hope that they do resculpt the hands, and I hope that he comes with a very grand, very cool, kind of majestic cape almost, that's kind of like flowing, and kind of spreads out very far. I really hope that we get that. And then, this I don't expect, but it would be cool if he came with like some smoke effect pieces. That's obviously not going to happen, but that would be cool as well. And then the dome, I hope that they color the dome very nicely, kind of give it a pearlescent look. The 3 3/4 inch one from the Marvel Legends or Marvel Universe series did that, and it looked really nice. So I hope that they do that, and almost that you can like see a silhouette of somebody's head underneath. That would be very cool as well. And then my last thing here is there are versions of Mysterio where he doesn't have the checkerboard pattern in his costume, where he's just mainly just wearing green. I really hope that they do stick with the checker pattern with the black, stripes to form the checkers in his suit, because I just personally like that better. It's more classic Mysterio, and I would definitely love that. So I'm very excited for this Mysterio figure. Of this wave, the figures that I would be just like really excited to get are Demogoblin, Gwenpool, and Mysterio. Those I'd just be really excited to get, and very much looking forward to. And then the other figures that would be fun to get, but that I'm not stoked for, are the Prowler and Spider-Punk, and then, I'd say Spider-Man Noir is kind of in there as well, and then the figure that I really wouldn't care about too much is Spider-Woman, just because I really don't care. So yeah, but overall, this is a nice assortment, this is a pretty good solid mix of characters. They're getting the Sinister Six out very slowly, and I am disappointed that Overdrive isn't in this wave to finally complete the superior foes. Hopefully in the next Spider-Man waves then Overdrive would be included. And then the Build-A-Figure has not been announced for the series. I'm not quite sure what it could be. If I had my way, it would be a nice classic Dr. Octopus, like in the green suit with the white lab coat. That would be wonderful. I think Dr. Octopus would make for a really nice Build-A-Figure. And obviously, even though he's not the largest character, he has the tentacles, which would make him legitimately, build a figure size. So I would personally love that. But no matter what, you've got 3 amazing figures in this wave, and then 4 nice ones, basically. So there you go. That's my thoughts on this rumored Spider-Man Marvel Legends wave. If I do hope that it's true, this wave is good enough that I would very much enjoy if it was legitimate, and hopefully we get to see if it's legitimate pretty soon here. At the very latest, we'll get to see it at Comic-Con, I would imagine. So there you go. Let me know what you guys think of this wave, and which figures you are excited for from it, and which figures you're not excited for. I definitely love to hear. I'd also love to hear what would your ideal Spider-Man Build-A-Figure be for this wave as well. So there you go. That's my thoughts on this Spider-Man rumored wave. Let me know what you guys think, and thanks much for watching.